Mr. Rogers, how you doing?
What's going on, Mr. Pittman? What you up to?
Oh, nothing too much. Just watching a little TV.
Oh, okay. You got a second?
Sure.
Man, I just did a segment, on giving my take on what we witnessed yesterday. And I wanted to call and let's talk about it, man. We could talk about it, from fans' point, whatever you got, however you feel about it, man. Just be honest. We keep it all the way funky over here, man. What in the world did we witness last night? Good, bad, indifferent, ugly? Just what, from your perspective, how do you feel today?
Okay, what I saw was a fighter in Terence Crawford that was well equipped with all the tools in the toolbox and able to utilize all of his weapons. He was able to combine punches inside close. He was able to use the range with his jab. He appeared to be the stronger puncher. He just dominated the fight. And he dominated that fight in no way that I thought he could. I knew he had the capabilities of winning, but he won this fight in spectacular fashion. So it was just a dynamic performance. Kudos to him. He did it. And I don't think there's any argument that he has solidified the pound for pound king at this particular point.
Yes, he definitely did. He definitely did. I think he showed the world that he is special. I think that, sometimes when it comes to what some people see and hear about fighters and promotion and all that, I think from all of the moves and the steps up into the fight to the performance, we can probably say that Bob didn't know what he had over there, because from the ring walkout who he had, the antics, like him coming out reciting that at the weigh-in, coming out reciting that Lil Wayne song word for word, like we've never seen Bud promote like that. And now that he's stepping out, this is like, I'm looking at it like Darth Vader, man. He didn't just turn into Darth Vader. And I think he put a lot of people on notice, because he jumped up on the ropes, he looked at Charlo. Now seeing what happened, because it was, to me, I ain't gonna lie, man, my heart was pounding through my chest when I seen Errol getting, taking punishment like that. And how the shocking thing is, and this, I'm not the only one saying this, and I said this to my lady, I was like, man, the scary thing is Bud, it was points in time in that fight where Bud showed mercy, because he could have did Spence bad, man. And it was just shocking to see Errol like that for me. I never would imagine to see it. Everything that he said he was going to do, his actions lined up to it, so he never gave me a reason to doubt him. But to see Bud do that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's levels. It's levels. Shakur was trying to say something, but I be taking what Shakur say with a grain of salt, because when I listen to him talk about him and his things he doing in his career, I see the inconsistencies. But it's something about how Shakur talk about Bud and how them younger guys and how they see him. Part of me was thinking like, oh man, that's just how Camp talk. But it's a way that Shakur be talking about Bud, that he was saying that we just never saw it against somebody like that. That he left no stone unturned. He came out with the fish nets on his shorts, with the net around him. He said he was gonna have a fish fry. He was gonna catch the biggest. Errol came out with the biggest. I mean, the stars aligned for him, man, and he put everybody on notice. So I'm looking at it like two different ways. I seen a lot of people trying to blame stuff on Derrick James. I said I can't blame stuff on Derrick James. I heard Derrick James telling him, even my lady was saying, like Derrick James was saying, you know, make him feel you. Don't stand in front of her she went to the back. She couldn't even watch it. So I'm like, she couldn't even stand watching it because it was like you could have gave him all the tutelage in the world. He wasn't there. And I don't know if it was the power of Bud. So we gotta say that either the use of that thing, that right hand, that hook, or that bludgeoning jab, you know, it's like it was like a bullwhip at times. His reflexes was crazy because Errol landed a crazy shot, and before he could even get back, Bud was already coming down with full momentum, going upside Errol's head. Like, it was just something that, it was just moments in time. Still watching. I hadn't even watched it again, but I was going to, but I still be seeing like how that was done. And I was just shocked. I was in disbelief. Nobody expected that. I seen Brian Custer walk out, and they were talking to him, and the look on his face was just like he didn't even see it coming. It was a couple guys, seen Roy Jones and how he looked. Nobody saw it like that. We knew it was a possibility, but he made us, he showed us something last night.
Yes, he did. He just showed that he is the dominant fighter between the two of them in that welterweight division. It was clear to see. He seemed to be the stronger puncher, or I will say that his punches were more effective. Okay, he was able to land the cleaner shots, and the shots were stinging, punishing shots. Everything in his repertoire worked. It was just an excellent performance. Excellent. And kudos to Bud. I just did not think that he would be able to pull it off in the fashion that he did. Now, could he have won that fight? Of course. But in the fashion that he won it, it was just a dominating fight for him. This is probably the best he's ever looked, especially fighting the top guy in the welterweight division alongside of himself. It was just an excellent performance. We all thought that the fight would be a close-up battle. It would be a battle of will, and whoever could enforce their will on the other. But this was early domination, and the fight never flipped. He owned that fight from the beginning. Granted, maybe the first round was kind of like a feeling out round. You probably could have gave the round to Errol, maybe. But after that, it was just the Terence Crawford show. He did everything picture perfect. Excellent performance.
Yeah, he and you know, we like to tie it into the CompuBox. According to CompuBox, that man landed 60% of his power punches. Now the marquee number is the 40, you know, 40%, up around 40%, 44%. That typically shows clear domination. This man landed 60% of his power punches, and the onslaught started in the second round with a 2-piece spicy. It was like bang bang, and Errol was already, everybody was like, oh my gosh, for the first time. And it's like, man, the way the crowd reacted, and it was like after that, Errol, he was non-committal, man. I've never seen him swing punches like that. I've never seen him, it was almost like sometimes he was swinging to try to already be avoiding something that wasn't thrown. He was already like, and it was like, I think he was fighting on sheer animalistic instinct, but that was just the body's defense mechanism. That's why I like it, because it's the sweet science. And mentally, that warrior in him was trying to give it all he got, but because his faculties wasn't right, his body was not allowing him to throw a certain way, because muscle memory knows, all right, when I did this, I got touched here. It was, the sweet science started setting in. That's what was scary, what I seen, man. Like, it was slowing down so slow for me. Like when I used to fight, like it felt like that. It felt like being in a fight. that was like that was high speed, that was high tech stuff, man. And you know, we witnessed it. You know, we was there to witness it. We had our picks, and I say, man, not bad being 1 out of 1, because I don't think people had it that way earlier. But I think it's a lot of people trying to like just bash everybody instead of like looking at the fighters and thinking about, okay, man, where do Bud go from here? Or man, can Errol regroup? And you know, some, you know, because they you know, they put their life on the line to entertain us. You know, they made it, you know, they gave the fans what they wanted. PBC, I salute to them for that. Salute to BOMAC, because, you know, they wound up handling everything with class overall, you know, when you look at the big picture and how they orchestrated all that, you know. So I salute to all of them, man, and the camps and the families. And you know, Mama got the. I remember Derrick James said, "Mama, don't bring your dancing shoes." And man, they showed that scene with Bud and his mom was in the ring dancing. Man, that's classic. That's classic stuff, man. So overall, as a fan, I'm like, man, like what more can you ask for? As an Errol fan, I'm devastated. As a Bud fan, I'm like, dang. So if I look at it from all them different hats, man, boxing is still in a good place, man. I think we got a treat, didn't we?
We definitely did. We just thought that we would have a more action-packed battle that was more on an even keel until it approached near the end. But this was a one-sided fight, totally a one-sided fight, and it was dominated by Crawford. Crawford looked like he didn't suffer any damage or battle fatigue in the fight. When you looked at him, he looked like he was just ready to come into the ring. But on the other hand, you could look and see the battle fatigue and the pressure that was put on Errol. You could look in his face and see.
Yeah, and salute to Errol too, because there's been times where a fight of that magnitude, I've seen it happen over and over again, when somebody just walk out and they don't interview and they don't answer the questions, and they unseen, unheard. But true character, like a true champion, man, he answered the questions. He gave Bud his credit and said, look, man, he was the better man. He was like, yeah, we got to do that again. You know, he was saying that, you know, then and there, like he was saying what he needed to say. Even afterwards, and he came out there, he sat down and just said, man, you know, yeah, I'm gonna activate the rematch, you know, hopefully it's at 154. So he's saying it, but he did what was right in actually sitting down and answering the questions, because a lot of people have cowered it away. Like a lot of people have taken losses like that, but he took it like a champ, man. That's why I rock with Errol, man, because of the character, man. Errol is a guy that, you know, even outside the ring, everything he been through, man, I hope he makes decisions going forward in the right way. Like if it's gonna be 54, you got a plan, you're gonna hit the ground running, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna stay active, you know, climb up, you know, build, you know, work your way back up and all that, you know, do it that way. If you need take some time and just relax and think about, okay, you know, do you want to still do it? You know, do you want to see Bud again? You know, I just hope that he take the time and make the best decision going forward. But yeah, man, I'm impressed, man, by what we got, man. Overall, as a boxing fan, I'm happy, man, and we just gotta wait and see what comes out. And
we got exactly what we wanted to see. The only thing for some of us, the outcome wasn't what we thought it would be. And not only was it not what we thought, but the devastating manner in which it was concluded. I don't think even some Bud fans didn't expect this type of domination. You know, they may have expected a more closer fight, but it wasn't to be. It was not to be. Terence was just, he was just too much. It was too much for Errol on that night.
Yeah. That's facts. You know, that's facts. I mean, you know, we're gonna hear, you know, it's gonna be out there. You know, this is gonna be lingering into the next big one. I gotta revisit and everything. I just wanted to book in this one, and then, you know, just go over what we saw, and, you know, just recap everything. So I think we did that, you know.
Yeah, because when you look at that fight, you know, if you were a Spence fan, you know, you almost lost for words. You know, it's hard to describe what was seen. Never before have we seen Errol fight in that type of manner, in which he seemed not to be able to do anything of productivity. You know, even defensively, he wasn't sound. Usually Errol keep the high guards up, and it's hard to hit him, and he keeps somebody moving backwards. This was not the case. It definitely wasn't the case. We saw a side of Errol that we've never seen before, and maybe it took the dominance and the fighting style of Terence Crawford to expose him. I don't, you know, that must have been what happened, because I haven't heard Errol say anything contrary. He concluded that, you know, the better man won. He's not going to make any excuses. He lost, and kudos to Terence Crawford. And he only indicated that hopefully, you know, that they can reenact a rematch clause and maybe fight on another occasion. But as far as right now, today, I don't think that the fans are too enthused right at this moment on seeing an immediate rematch. Maybe if Errol moves to 54, as he said, and he has some success, and he starts doing well, and Terence moves to 54, maybe there can be some enthusiasm in maybe rehashing this fight again. But as of right now, I just don't see where there would be the type of money in a rematch. I don't think it could really promote the ticket sales, and right now it just seems difficult for an immediate rematch.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know if it was a possibility in the contract, I don't know about not having ticket sales and all that, because one, you know, Errol could just be like, nah, I'm moving on, because I know it ain't gonna be at 54. Well, that's a choice. That mean okay, it's not gonna be Bud. But you would have to say, if he does enact the rematch, that means that he ain't just gonna go out there just to lay down. So if he enact the rematch, I gotta believe he's all the way in it, because I believe that if he ain't all the way in it, he ain't gonna reenact it. So I can't say that, and I believe that if he does say, all right, yeah, I want a rematch, that means that, okay, I gotta go back to the drawing table. Like, I'm hungry again. I want to get this again. So I can't say that. I can't say that on that, because time will tell on that one, as far as, in my opinion, just my take. Time will tell on that, because we got to see where Errol's will is, because I think his will was broken. Like, it was crazy when you go back and you look at everything in reverse. It's just like that whole Fury Tyson thing. Like, you know, I want a body and all that. And then, you know, some of the things Errol was saying, when you go back and you rewind all those different things, I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna break him like a horse. I'm gonna do, you know, all of that stuff. It was like Bud, with his maniacal self, took that and like, oh yeah, that's what you gonna do? And like, that's what he did. Like, it's almost like the same thing that happened with Inoue, how everybody was saying, oh man, Fulton just gonna, you know, he just gonna jab him, he just gonna, you know, do this. It was like Bud did the same thing. Like, the way Inoue out jabbed him, Bud did the same thing with his jab, a bludgeoning jab, and the body work. Nobody ever talked about the body work. We talk about the 60%, but it was the same thing. with those two excellent fighters. You know what I'm saying? It was the same when you look at it and you look at how the camp was talking before. Like, you look at a lot of things, there's a lot of similarities, and you can see sheer dominance and how it was. It was like a one-sided shellacking. We had it a one-sided shellacking. We just didn't pick Bud on that one. We had it a I had it a one-sided shellacking with anyway with a stoppage in the 6th. I missed it by the 8th. But when you look at them two fights, man, and what we walk away as far as the performance of the dominant fighters, it was a lot of similarities. Only, I think this one was worse. This one was worse. For Errol to be the kind of fighter he is, the big thing was he was the bigger, stronger fighter. That's how he fight. That's his fighting style. A high pressure, high volume, guy. And Bud broke his will early on, and it was weird seeing Errol like that for me. I said I didn't feel like that. I hadn't had that feeling since I seen that Tyson Buster Douglas thing. That's the last time I seen something like that from a fighter that I rock with. I'm just being honest, and that's the fan in me. So that's how I felt.
This fight kind of reminded me a little bit of a fight I watched years ago with Marvelous Marvin Hagler against a guy who was known as John the Beast Mugabe. Mugabe was such a devastating puncher that many people didn't think that Marvin Hagler had an opportunity really to beat this man. And in this particular fight, Marvin Hagler went into this fight, and Marvin Hagler was a switch fighter too, and he fought John the Beast Mugabe from, I think, the unorthodox position, not the position he normally fights, and that was the key to the victory. And he pretty much stopped Mugabe in the same fashion that Crawford stopped Errol Spence. And from some of your older listeners, they will remember this fight, and they will be able to match the similarities in the way that these fights concluded. But that was Marvin Hagler against John the Beast Mugabe. And it was a big anticipated fight, but Marvin Hagler was so dominant in this fight, it just reminds me of this same type of fight that we just witnessed.
I'm about to go back and check it out, and pay homage to it, man. But yeah, that was good. Thanks for giving everybody some homework. But hey, as for what this channel stand on, I'm coming back and saying, hey man, I had this one. I was off on this one. But I'm happy about what I saw and what I was able to witness as a boxing fan. And I stand on my own too. That's what make me so I don't have to go back and change this and change that. I don't flip-flop, and I call Bud the closer in my boxes to watch, and when he closed, you know what I'm saying? So I give credit where it's due. You can see the footage, the film, you can hear all our breakdowns, man, and just wanted to come back and recap that whole thing. So I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this evening. I'm gonna look at that fight now. I'm about to go look it up now and just relax and put this out, put the other thing that I did by myself out. And as things unfold, I'll send you some clips, and we'll keep the ball rolling.
Sounds good to me.
I appreciate your feedback. Enjoy your evening.
Yes, sir. You have a good evening also.
All right. Peace. Yep, that was my old head K. Wrapping it up on this boxing talk, man. Thanks for, everybody who chime into this channel, man. Everybody who give their feedback, the honest, genuine feedback. And you can see, we don't do yes men, man. This is a channel where we believe that silence is consent. We keep it all the way funky. 10 times 10. Once again, I'm not gonna talk your head off, man, but salute the bud, man. Salute the bud Crawford. Thanks for tuning in here at BodyWorkBoxing. When we don't take things for face value, we do that body work.